Hi beautiful people, how are you? Welcome to my YouTube channel. You already know it's your girl Yekum, and if you don't know me, you're visiting for the very first time, you are not here by chance. This is the right place you're supposed to be at this moment. So sit down, relax and enjoy. But if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Just click on the red subscribe button at the bottom and you will be notified whenever I post new videos on my channel. Okay, so do me that favor and go subscribe to my channel. Let's be a big family and let's enjoy this stuff. So today on my YouTube channel I will be talking about intimacy, but before I go forward, have you watched my previous videos? If you haven't done that, you need to watch it because it is for you too. I put the videos for you and it's really gonna benefit you. So make sure you check it out and enjoy it. Make sure you put comments, subscribe, like and share with your friends who need it. So today I'll be talking about intimacy. The word intimacy, it sounds simple because when people listen to the word intimacy, they already have one thing in mind: sex. No, intimacy is far more deeper than what we just think sex. No, it's not all about sex. Intimacy is very broad, and I'll be expatiating with you, and I'll be telling you how to go about the intimacy in your relationship. So basically this video will be about, I'll just try to define intimacy. I try to talk about the types of intimacy and how to increase intimacy in your relationship, because once you increase intimacy in your relationship, it's going to make the bond more stronger. So sit down, relax and enjoy this video. Let's go. So the first thing we're going to talk about is to define intimacy. What is intimacy? Intimacy is a close bond between two people in a relationship, in a marriage. When you hear the word intimacy, you also similar words that are close to intimacy are closeness, togetherness. So whenever you hear the word intimacy, don't just say, oh, it's sex. No, it's about a bonding, it's about a closeness, it's about togetherness. So it's a very important aspect in a relationship to have intimacy with your partner, because when you have intimacy with your partner, it makes your partner to feel comfortable and know that he belongs or she belongs in a relationship where he or she can easily express their views and things like that. So the four types of there are many types of intimacy, but I'm going to talk only about 4 types in this video. So the first type I'll be talking about is emotional intimacy. But before I talk about intimacy, there's something I want to say. Intimacy does not just happen by magic. It's not magical. You always have to work for it. So it's a joint collaboration between you two to work for the intimacy in your relationship, because it's going to benefit both of you. So if one person is trying to build intimacy in the relationship and the other person is not trying to make the effort to build the intimacy, it's not going to work, because the other person feels frustrated and feels like, oh, maybe I'm the only person who is interested in this relationship, and like that there's going to be a breakup. Trust me, there is no way you guys can go forward if it's not a joint effort. So now I'll go to the first type of intimacy, which is emotional intimacy. What's emotional intimacy? Emotional intimacy is the bond or closeness between two people who are ready to make things work. Like, for example, you appreciate your partner's emotional needs, you know what makes them happy, you appreciate whatever happens around them, you don't neglect it. So the person feel emotionally stable, the person feel emotionally happy because they are in an emotional intimacy with your partner. So the next type of intimacy we're going to talk about is mental or intellectual intimacy. So on intellectual or mental intimacy, you need to start thinking about like minds, like how to boost your mental intimacy with your partner. Just take for example 2 people maybe in Paris, maybe they're having a good time, they're chatting in candlelight and they're sipping red wine. That's a kind of intimate that's a kind of intellectual intimacy. And also you need to boost your intellectual intimacy by doing activities with your partner that boost your intellectual your intellect, like makes you to think out of the box. An example of how to boost your intellectual or mental intimacy with your partner is like maybe working on projects, like maybe building a garden. If you guys like gardening, you guys can work together on how to build a gardening, like a garden in front of your house. It's going to boost a bond. It's going to make a bonding between you and your partner. Also, discussing about topics or maybe a play or a movie that you guys work together, it's going to boost your mentality. It's going to increase your mentality. So it is also an important it's an important type of intimacy which needs to be incorporated in your relationship. So always look for something to do with your partner that boosts intellectual intimacy, whether be it reading a book, or maybe you guys want to venture into a new business or anything. That's a beautiful way to boost your intellectual intimacy with your partner. And the next type of intimacy I'll be talking about is spiritual intimacy. Okay, moving to the next type of intimacy, which I mentioned earlier, is spiritual intimacy. When I talk about spiritual intimacy, I don't mean religious intimacy. Yes, everybody is not religious. Yeah, so everybody, even though everybody is not religious, but it's an important type of intimacy that needs to be considered in your relationship. So everybody is not religious, but everybody gets into relationships. You understand? So don't limit it into spiritual, into religious intimacy. It is. I clearly said spiritual intimacy. Life is spiritual. That one we know we know about it. So maybe you can incorporate this into your relationship, like not only about the religious aspect. Yeah, you have your own spirituality. Some people's spirituality might just be having a quiet time meditating, while some people is maybe reading the Bible for Christians or other religious activities. So try to know your partner's spirituality and always try to connect with them. Like a liberal spiritual intimacy, which I can encourage a lot of people to go into, is maybe you and your partner, you guys can set out times to maybe meditate together, or just do something, have a quiet time to communicate with your inner self. That's to know the kind of spirituality each other has. And I would also like to put in here that whatever your partner's spirituality is, be it meditation, be it reading the Bible, or maybe other religious aspects, always respect your partner's intimacy. If you're interested, you can join them. Even if you're not, if you're interested, you can join them in knowing their spirituality, so you can get close or intimate with them. But if you are not, or if you don't like their ideas or their kind of spirituality, don't criticize them. Just let them be them, and that's going to help your relationship. So don't take spiritual intimacy as a religious intimacy. It is not a religious intimacy, it is spiritual intimacy. So people always take out times to like know themselves, meditate, have their quiet times, maybe meditation on the word of God. Just know your partner's spirituality, and you guys can work together with that. So the next intimacy, which is the most important one, that a lot of people feel that that's what intimacy is all about, is physical intimacy. So talking about physical intimacy, I would say it is really important, because it's kind of a language, a love language that each other understands perfectly well. It is very great when it comes to physical intimacy. It's very great. Like, many people concentrate on that aspect in their relationships, and when we talk about physical intimacy, that's where the sex part comes in. But as I mentioned earlier, you can be intimate with your partner without even thinking about sex. So the physical aspect is maybe touching your partner, or maybe doing kind gestures to your partner. That's the physical aspect of intimacy. So it is very important to incorporate these 4 types of intimacy in your relationship. Don't just stick only with one, because if you stick with maybe physical intimacy and the other aspects are not met, your partner might feel like, oh, maybe they are taking advantage of me, I just don't feel happy. There are other aspects that you need to incorporate. You need to, your partner, the intellectual part has to be very, like, it has to be very well developed, not only the physical part, so that one person is not going to feel like the other person is taking advantage. So that's it about the 4 types of intimacy. And moving to the next subtopic under intimacy, I'll be talking about how we can increase intimacy in our relationship. Talking about how to increase intimacy in your relationship, I have several points that we are going to look at it shortly. So intimacy is a very important aspect in your relationship. It helps the bonding. But when there is no intimacy, there is a lot of resentment in the relationship, and it's not easy to keep up with that. Maybe you can pretend that, oh, everything is okay, there's no intimacy, but maybe work on it. Of course, intimacy, you need to work on it. But if you try and it is not going, what are you going to do? Give up? So I'll be talking about some points which are going to help us increase our intimacy with our partner. Because when you're intimate with your partner, as we already see, it doesn't only increase the bond in your relationship, but it increases general well-being of an individual. So the first one we're talking about is you need to change your routine. If you've been doing something with your partner over and over again, it gets so boring. So how can you maybe develop a new way of doing something else? Is going to increase the bond in your relationship, the intimacy in your relationship. I'll give an example. If you and your partner every Friday go to a public park or a public beach and sit outside and always talk for hours, if that's a normal routine in your daily activity, you need to incorporate new habits. You need to bring new ideas in your relationship. Maybe you can say, instead of us going out every Friday to the park or to the beach, we can travel during the weekend. That is going to increase intimacy and it's going to make the bond in your relationship more stronger. So that's it about it. Change your routine. Don't do one thing over and over. It gets boring sometimes. You need to switch things. You need to do new things every time. Don't just stick to one routine. Yeah, that's just one thing that can help you build your intimacy with your partner. It's about the good old times. Yeah, when a relationship just gets started, it's like a fairy tale movie. You guys are so happy, you always smile, you're happy, you do a lot of things together, a lot of fun things. But maybe after some years, you feel like, oh, the relationship is no longer moving according to the way I wanted. I'm not seeing what I wanted. My partner doesn't love me. My partner is not interesting anymore. What do you have to do to increase the bond or intimacy between your partner so as to keep the relationship going? You need to think about the good memories. You need to think about the good old days. If possible, you can go through pictures that you took when you had fun, when you went out to maybe pleasurable trips. And if you're married with your partner, you can always go through the wedding pictures. Things like that really bring back good memories, and it helps to create and increase intimacy with your partner. It's not okay for you to do it just all by yourself. That's why communication is very important in your relationship. You can talk to your partner. You can be like, oh, I've noticed that things are not really going normally with us anymore. We are not the way we used to be. Will you mind if we watch this video about our anniversary, our birthday celebration that we did together? And when you watch all those things, it brings positive vibes. I mentioned in one of my videos that what you think about is what you attract. So when you watch those kind of fun-filled activities and events about your relationship, it's definitely going to spark something new in your relationship, and it's going to make you to feel more intimate, and it's going to increase the bonding in your relationship. So moving to the next point is always appreciate each other. When you appreciate each other, it really increases the bond between you two. Okay, don't underestimate the thank yous and the you look beautiful, you're the best thing in the world. Always appreciate your partner, because when you appreciate your partner, they feel like, oh, they belong somewhere, oh, somebody, they are important in somebody's life. So always appreciate them. And when I say appreciate them, I mean appreciate them. Look at the little details that you feel that it may be small for them to appreciate. No, always appreciate them. Maybe, ladies always like appreciation. Maybe they come home with new hair or something new, a new dressing. Point it out. Tell them your hair is very beautiful. Tell them this dress color looks perfect on you. Make them feel loved, make them feel happy, and it's going to boost intimacy in your relationship. You girls also, don't forget to always appreciate your man. Tell them, oh, I love your haircut, I love your shoes, I love your dressing. Always learn to appreciate your partner, because when you appreciate your partner, it is a very important aspect to build intimacy with your partner. And already you know that when you build intimacy with your partner, it increases the chances of having a healthy relationship, and all of us need a healthy relationship. So don't forget to always appreciate your partner. Don't think that it is too little. Don't think that a thank you or you're beautiful or you're just an angel or little sweet comment is very little. It goes a long way to build intimacy. So don't be shy. Don't feel like, oh, it's not good enough. Just do what you have to do, and you will see it's gonna work magic. So the next on our list is always touch your partner. So we're talking about touching your partner more often. Always make it a habit to touch your partner. Incorporate that habit in your relationship, and it is going to increase physical intimacy with your partner, because they feel free and they feel happy when you always touch them. Like maybe when you're moving on the street, you always hold them. When maybe your partner is driving, you just touch them, you touch their back, or maybe when they have backache, you try to massage them. So always make it a habit to touch your partner. Always incorporate that. That should be one of the things you do always in your relationship. Why? Because the sense of touch is one important sense, as like, because we have sense of taste, sense of sight, sense of so sense of touch is one of the first senses that develop. So always try to touch your partner, and when you touch your partner, it gives them it makes them feel like, oh, you're physically intimate with them, and they feel relaxed and they feel happy, and it goes a long way to build a strong bond between you and your partner. So as I mentioned, you always touch them when you're moving, you always hold them in public, or when you're sitting in the house or somewhere, you always try to touch their feet, to massage their feet or something. It goes a very long way to increase intimacy with your partner. Also, another way to increase physical intimacy by touching is you always need to look into your partner's eyes. When you're talking with them, look into your partner's eyes, because when you look into your partner's eyes when talking, it gives a kind of connectivity. It's like the person is seeing deep inside of you and not just the outer part. So always make it a habit to look deep into your partner's eyes when you guys are talking. So that's also very important. And also, there's something I want to mention before I go to the next point, is that physical touch is not only healthy for your relationship, but it is also healthy it also improves health, like our natural health, like our normal health. It makes us more healthy, because it also produces oxytocin, which is a hormone that makes us belong to somebody. So make sure you always touch your partner to increase your bonding between you and your partner. The next point I'll be talking about how to increase intimacy with your partner is stay connected. Always be connected with your partner throughout the day. Make sure you know what your partner is doing. Make sure you inform your partner on what is going on, all the activities that you're doing throughout the day. You can always send messages, you can always send videos, you can always make them know that, oh, they also feel, they make them know that they are part of you even if they are not beside you. Okay, also another way of staying connected with your partner is maybe you can leave them short notes. You can always tell them encouraging words throughout the day. That's how you can stay connected to your partner. And moving on to the next on our list. So, and the next on our list is be vulnerable. Be vulnerable with your partner. Feel free with your partner. Be comfortable to discuss even the most uncomfortable thing with your partner. That brings a lot of intimacy with your partner. Things that you don't even expect, or things that in your mind you feel like you cannot discuss it with anybody. Make sure you open up to your partner and always be ready to feel free to tell them what is happening. Even be free to tell them the good things, the extremely good things, and the extremely bad things, and the extremely uncomfortable things. So that's also another important aspect of building increased intimacy with your partner. Vulnerable, tell them everything, feel comfortable, don't hide anything from them, don't keep anything. Like some people always write stuffs in their diaries, like they decide to, whenever they go through maybe something difficult, they can't express themselves, they always put it in their diary. So if you want to increase intimacy with your partner, that's also one way that you need to be vulnerable. You need to always talk with them. The things that you feel like, oh, I feel ashamed, maybe if I talk with my partner is going to judge me. No, forget about that part, but always be intimate with them, because they are even going to appreciate you more for opening up to them. They feel like, oh, if my partner can talk to me like that, it means that they trust me and they know that they are safe with me. That goes a very long way to increase intimacy with your partner, and it's going to increase your the bonding between you and your partner. So always be vulnerable, talk to your partner, discuss everything that you are uncomfortable with, and it's going to improve your relationship through intimacy. And the last point, which is not the least point, is be very supportive. Always be supportive. Be supportive to your partner whenever your partner needs you. If it is very difficult, make them know that, oh, you will not be able to support them. But if you are in a position where you can support your partner, don't shy away, don't stay without doing it. Always try to be supportive to your partner, even if maybe they might not ask, because some people are like that, they don't just like asking. But you know your partner, you know their various needs. Think about how you can support them. And when you do like that, because a lot of people in this world, they don't care about anything, they don't care about anybody, nobody cares about anybody, everybody is busy with their daily activities. But if you as an individual, you go that extra mile to try to find out the needs of your partner, and you meet the needs of your partner, they will always appreciate you. Why? Because they know that there is somebody there that can stand by me when nobody can stand by me. So it is going to increase intimacy with you too, because also when they know that they can count on you, they feel very vulnerable, they feel they can talk to you easily and without fear or without shining. So always be helpful, always be at the position where you're going to help your partner, and you're going to help them in whatever reason, even before they even ask you for help. So always make an effort. If they ask you for help, try if you can. But if you cannot, make sure you tell them you can't do that, and you both can maybe put your heads together to get a solution to their problem. Even if they don't ask, I repeat, always try, make efforts to know where they are lacking, to know where you can be helpful to them. So that's it on intimacy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to put your thoughts down on the comment section. Let's know what's good, let's know what we missed out. You know, life is a continuous process, we always learn. So I'm very happy to see your comments down on this about this video. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hope you've watched my next videos. And this is a wrap, and I'm very happy I gave you this content, and I hope it's going to be helpful in your relationship, because that's why I'm talking to you, because I want you to have a happy relationship, and I'll try as much as possible to get you content that are really going to help you in your relationship. So that's it with me today on my channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, because honestly it's going to make me to put a larger smile on my cheeks. So that's gonna be it. Thank you guys. Bye bye until my next video. Ciao.